Hello Year 6 and welcome to this flipped classroom on long multiplication. Now obviously moving forward with any sort of multiplication, the most important thing is to know your tables. So if you're still not confident with any of those multiplication tables, any of your times tables, simply get on with it and learn them. Find a technique that works for you, whether it's sitting down and writing them out, whether it's getting someone in the house to test you, whether it's playing some of the fabulous computer games out there to help you learn your tables, singing a song, doesn't matter what technique you use, but by now in Year 6, we should be confident with all, or certainly most of our times tables. Without them, it is going to slow this process down, okay? But moving forward with the long multiplication, let's take a look. Long multiplication is simply a calculation that's bigger than 1 digit by 1 digit, okay? Usually it's, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits multiplied by 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So in this case, the first example we're going to look at is 24 multiplied by 16. Now, most of us will not be confident with our 16 times table, and certainly not up to 24 times. So we need to work it out. Now, the first thing you're going to do is set it up in a column format like this. Okay? And then we think about the 16 as being two separate numbers. We're going to partition it into 10 and 6 and deal with them as separate questions. It makes life so much easier. So to start with, we're going to ignore the 10. Okay, it's still there. It's not gone anywhere, but we're going to focus on multiplying 6 by 24. Now, this is just a small multiplication, the sort of thing you've been doing for a few years now. So we start with the ones column and we ask ourselves 6 multiplied by 4. Well, that's 24. So the 4 goes in the ones column and then the 2 tens is held here in the tens column, ready to be added on in a moment. Okay, so we've dealt with 6 times 4. Now we're going to deal with 6 times the 2 tens. 6 times 2 is 12 plus the extra 2 tens we've got here. So that gives us 14 tens, or 4 tens and 100. And so 6 multiplied by 24 is 144. Now that's only the first part of this question. Remember, for the time being, we were ignoring a number. Now we can't ignore it any longer. Okay, so we're now going to ignore the 6 and we're going to deal with this number here, which remember is a 10. It's not a 1. But by playing it, and say by just inserting a 0, by just using a placeholder of a 0, then that means we can treat it as a 1. So we put in our 0 into the 0 into the ones column, and then we do 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2. And basically what we're saying there is 24 times 10, remember it's a 10, is 240. Okay, so we've done those two stages of the question. And then finally, we just need to add them together. 4 plus 0 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 1 plus 3 is, 1 plus 2 is 3. So 24 multiplied by 16 is 384. And we've done that by partitioning, by splitting up this bottom number and treating it as two separate calculations, 6 times 24 and 10 times 24, and then adding the two answers together. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's look at a slightly bigger question. This time we've got 124 multiplied by 26. Okay. Again, we start by setting it up in the column method, remembering that our 6 and our 4 are the ones, so they're in one column. The 2 twos, they're in the tens column, and then we've just got the 1 digit in the hundreds column. Really important that we line everything up correctly. Okay, just like last time, we're going to partition the bottom number. So we've got 20 and 6. So we're going to deal with the 6 first of all. So we're going to just ignore the 20 for the time being. And we're going to do 6 times 124. 6 fours, 24. The 4 goes in and we carry the 2 across. 6 times 2, or 2 tens. 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 2 gives us 14. 4 goes in the answer and we carry the 1 across. And then 6 times 1 is 6, plus the 1 that we've carried, 7. So 6 lots of 124, 744. Okay, so we've dealt with this part. We now need to deal with this part that we were just ignoring. We put to one side. So let's move that across there. So we're now going to do 124 multiplied by 20. Remember, it's not a 2, it's a 20. But to help us with the calculation, if we place a 0 as a placeholder there, now we can treat it as a 2 because we've made our answer 10 times bigger. Okay, so that 0 means that we can think of this now as a 2. So 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. And then finally, all we need to do is add these two numbers together. 4 plus 0 is 4, 4 plus 8 is 12, 2 goes in, carry the 1. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus the 1 is 12, carry the 1. 2 plus the 1 that we've carried is 3. 124 times 26 is 3,224. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Please rewatch the video if anything is unclear and practice. Have a go. Make up some calculations for yourself. Any number you like, multiplied by a 2-digit number to start with. Go bigger if you're confident. Remember, if you're multiplying by hundreds, so if it was 126, then we would put 2 zeros in as placeholders. Okay, but just practice these for now. Have a go. And as I said at the start, if you're still not confident with all your times tables, make that a priority. Learn your times tables and practice long multiplication method. Good luck, guys, and we'll see you in class.